let's talk about skydiving. This is probably my most requested video that I've ever got, so it's about time that we talk about skydiving, how you get your skydiving license, how I got my skydiving license, my experience with it, just all there is to know about skydiving. At least that I know. I have so much room to grow. But I asked you guys to send me questions on Instagram, so let's see what y'all have to say. And while I answer these questions, I'll be stepping through the process of getting my skydiving license. When I got my license, I wasn't doing content creation yet, so I don't have a lot of footage. I have footage from my actual jumps. The first question is it expensive? The short answer is yes. The long answer is if you're really dedicated, the drop zones usually will kind of cut you a deal. You're required to do a tandem jump before you do your schooling and then before you start solo jumping. And my skydiving license total was around $4,100. So yeah, it's expensive. And if you get a brand new skydiving rig, that's around $10,000. You can buy them used for probably around like $6,000. My helmet costs $200 and I bought it used. Usually they're a couple more $100. And my altimeter, which is what tells you what height you're at in the sky, costs $400. Luckily, that was a gift, so thank you Mom and Dad for the birthday gift because it's not cheap. So yes, skydiving is expensive. It adds up very fast. Hi, I'm currently editing this video and I wanted to say that after you're licensed, every time you jump, you pay usually around like $30. And that's if you have all of your own equipment. If you have to rent a rig, some of the places I've tried renting from cost $170 for the day. Even if you only do one jump, it's still $170. So that also adds up really fast. How long have you been skydiving for? So I did my first tandem almost 2 years ago. I got my license almost a year ago to the day. I started the school just over a year ago and it took me about a month to complete the whole course and everything, which is another question that I got. How long did it take you to get your license and how? So I went to Skydive Spaceland Houston, one of the best schools in the country. It is absolutely amazing. I love the atmosphere there. They take care of their students a lot. All of the instructors that I've met have just been very positive, very encouraging, and they still hold you to like the standard that you need to be held since you're literally jumping out of an airplane. I had 2 instructors. One of them, he had to leave halfway through. I love you, Carlos. You are amazing. And he was my first instructor. He took me on my first 2 or 3 jumps, I think. And he's just very like funny, very bubbly, just an all-around really fun person. And then I had to change instructors because he had to leave, and I started jumping with Louis, who is also so amazing. He was just always very encouraging and just always had like confidence in me, and when I didn't have it in myself, he like instilled it into me, like, you got this. I was so nervous to try like front flips and back flips and trying to jump out of the plane like without him holding on to me and stuff. And like the whole time he was like, I know that you can do this. Skydive Spaceland Houston, thank you so much. And I still go back there to this day, even though I'm already licensed. I just like seeing everyone and being around the people and jumping there. When you get there, they have you do a tandem. They have you sign up for the course and everything. You're required to do a tandem with them. Just so they can walk you through the process of it before you jump out by yourself. And then you do ground school, which is you just sit in a classroom for like 6 hours. They go over everything that you need to know. And then they go over like any parachute malfunctions and all of that stuff. Then they have you do your first solo jump. You can literally show up there, do the school, and do your solo jump all in the same day. If the weather cooperates and you are really dedicated, you could get licensed in like a week. But that means that you're jumping out of the plane like 5-6 times every single day. At Spaceland, they require you to do 25 instructed jumps. The last, I want to say like 7 of them are by yourself. The instructor no longer jumps out with you, but you're still considered a student. You're still training. So you're not able to just go jump with other people. You have to jump by yourself. You can count your tandem jumps towards your solo jumps. I had already done 3 tandem jumps before I was getting my license. I got to skip on the last like 3 solo jumps at the end of my course since I had already done tandems. The only reason why it took me a month to get my license was because the weather was really bad. I did my ground school and I couldn't do my first solo jump for the next week. And then I actually got in the plane, took all the pictures. I was so excited to finally go do my first solo jump. I had waited a week, I was ready, I had studied the material. I was just like, let's go. I'm so excited, so scared, but so excited. And we got up in the plane, and when we were in the plane, the weather got too bad and I had to land on the plane because everyone else got to jump except for me because I was a student. So we landed, and then like an hour later we ended up going back up and I did my first solo jump. How did you feel before your first jump? I was shitting myself. I've talked about this before on TikTok. If you want to follow me, it's just my name, Elo Palin. I was so scared, but I was also so excited. I had already done 3 tandems, and on the last tandem that I did, I was like 100% I'm ready to do this. You can see in the video from my first jump, the instructor holds on to you the whole time. In the video, I'm like as stiff as a board. Like I was so scared to lose control and stuff. But then when you look at like probably 6 jumps later, I'm doing like spinning in the air and stuff, and I was like starting to get a little bit more comfortable. That's just kind of how it goes with skydiving. It takes a few times to really get comfortable. It takes a while to gain confidence in yourself. I've been so eager to answer this. Someone said, do you think you would still have tried skydiving if you weren't with Tanner? I don't like that people assume that I do skydiving just because I'm dating Tanner. I'm just an adventurous person. I love all of this stuff. I went skydiving before I was even dating Tanner. I knew as soon as I went skydiving for the first time that I wanted to get licensed eventually, and I had just started a business when I went skydiving for the first time, so I just didn't really have a lot of time to buckle in and just dedicate all of my time to getting my license yet. Once I had started dating Tanner, he wanted to get 200 jumps, which takes a little bit of time. And he did it so he could wear a camera on his head and stuff while he's skydiving, because you have to have 200 jumps before you can ever wear a camera, fun fact. So because of that, we were spending a lot of time at the drop zone, and so I just took that as the opportunity to get my license. I was the one that told him I wanted to get my license. I signed myself up, I paid for it, I was just ready to go. And of course he was encouraging me along the way, but he is not the reason why I got my license. And now I just have a skydiving partner whenever we want to go. So any advice for people who want to go skydiving so bad but can't work up the courage to? You just gotta sign yourself up for it. My friend Megan, I took her skydiving after I had already been licensed, and I was telling her like, you're gonna be fine. She was so freaking scared though. I literally brought her into the office. I had to hold her arm. I'm like, we're going, we're doing this, you're gonna do it. After she had signed up and got her suit on, you're not allowed to refund your jump, at least at the drop zone that we were at. That was a big part of it. Is it's like $300. It's like $300 with a video package, so if you want your instructor to film you and stuff, it does get a little bit pricey on your first tandem. Yeah, the refund thing really kind of pushed her just to do it. Another thing is skydiving is not that bad. It's so intimidating, but really for no reason. It is so safe. So much stuff has been corrected over the years in the equipment. You have a backup parachute. The instructors you're jumping with have been jumping for so long. They have thousands of jumps. You don't feel like you're falling. You literally just feel like you're flying. I do not know how to explain it. It is just the best feeling in the world. I've never seen someone land and be genuinely upset with their experience. I'm never doing that again. I've never seen someone do that. Every single time the person says, I want to do that again. You feel proud of yourself afterwards. Have you ever had any close calls? Not really. I haven't had to cut away my parachute yet. so that's nice. There was one time someone deployed their parachute really close to me, which is like one of the sketchiest things. I literally watched them like deploy and like shoot up next to me because I was still free falling. So that was a little intense, but they were like far enough away from me to where it wasn't dangerous. It could have been bad. You're supposed to look around before you deploy your parachute to make sure that no one else is around you or above you or below you or anything. So hopefully they did that. I don't know. They were just really close. And I also watched someone not do a check before you jump out of the plane. You're supposed to look around, make sure that there's nothing in the sky, like an airplane that the pilot didn't see or something. You're also supposed to look for the drop zone, and this guy jumped out and there was a plane that went like a couple hundred feet away from him, like flew right next to him. That could have also been very bad. He could have been hit by another plane. But this is really rare, okay? This is a very rare occurrence. What happens if your backup parachute fails too? The chances of your backup parachute failing are like 0.1%. Very, very, very small chance that it does. Your backup parachute is inspected, like each individual thread is looked over whenever they're repacking it. Your backup parachute has to be repacked every 180 days, and it is packed in a room where like shoes aren't allowed, so there's nothing on the floors. The floors are like spotless. They're folded with like weights on them. People that pack them have to have like a certain license to do it. I think they have to go through like a week-long course of just like only packing reserve parachutes. Like, it's crazy. So the chances of that happening are pretty much none. They're also spring loaded, so whenever you cut away your main parachute, your reserve parachute automatically deploys and it's shot out by springs. So within like 1 second, you have a new parachute over your head and it's like it never even happened. So the chance of that happening is pretty low. But in the very, very, very slim chance that your reserve parachute were to have a malfunction, I haven't seen anyone with a reserve parachute have like a hole in it or anything. And you can still land parachutes with holes in them, and worst case scenario, if you cannot land the parachute, unfortunately that is your second and last parachute, but you're still taught different ways that you can make it safe, whether that is aiming for trees if you can aim it. If you're coming at the ground pretty hot, you protect your organs and you roll out of it as best as you can. But as long as there's fabric over your head, it's better than not having any fabric over your head. I think that's it for questions about skydiving. I hope that this clears up the air and maybe encourages people to skydive. Overall, the sport is very safe. It seems very intimidating, but I promise you it's not all that. If you're interested in getting your license, I 100% recommend it because you can just do like so much more. You can have fun in the sky underneath your parachute. You can flip around, do tricks and stuff in the sky. Learning new tricks is so much fun. I recommend it if that's something that you're interested in. You'll do great. I hope y'all enjoyed this video, and I will see you next Saturday. Bye!